I know you are from Brooklyn, the daughter of 2 police officers, and a parole officer yourself. Is that a good background for tackling issues of law and order?
I think so. I think I get to see it from both sides, growing up, and then I always try to run away from being a police officer because my entire family, my aunts, uncles, and for some reason I came very close. But yeah.
Many folks already know why you got involved, not only in this race, but in state government in general. Remind us again, it started with a family tragedy.
Right, after losing my son in a Waffle House mass shooting, I decided I had to do something. I decided, okay, how am I gonna start? Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? I went to DC, came back here to the Capitol, beg, plead, testify, and in committees, and I got no. And then I got politicians knew I was coming and they wore the AR-15 pins to greet me. So I decided I have to do something because nothing was working.
Gun control is certainly an issue for you. Do you own a gun?
I don't.
Do you support more stringent background checks
I do. It's not about, I know I get greeted a lot with the Second Amendment. I'm all for it. But I feel guns shouldn't be in the wrong hands, because guns in the wrong hands caused me my son, caused my family eternal grief. Background checks for sure, safe storage, red flag laws. That's another one that I feel, if it was in place, maybe it could have saved my child's life.
Was the permitless carry in effect when Akilah was killed?
No, actually it came into effect afterward. I testified against it. I was in committee and I was told no. That's when I was greeted with the AR-15 pins. And I testified, I pleaded, I begged, and it still went, so.
So the best way to get involved is to be up there yourself as an elected official?
That's right.
Let's talk about some of the other proposals and ideas. Governor Bill Lee's administration is moving forward with a plan for toll lanes on I-24, at least to start. Do you support the expansion of toll lanes on other highways?
Absolutely not. I don't support it. I came from a state where now we're having more tolls, but tolls, could you imagine you're trying to get home and you have to go through the tolls, you don't have the money for it? Everyday people are not going to be able to afford anything like that. No, I don't support it.
What do you think of Mayor O'Connell's transit plan that'll be on the ballot?
I'm for it.
What parts of it are attractive to you?
I don't know, just us having transit. I think when I moved to Nashville, it was hard for me because I came from a big city where trains and buses, and I came to Nashville where there were no sidewalks, there were no buses, so I feel for people that can't afford, afford cars and things like that, I think this is I support all of it. Where I live, I have to drive on this particular road, and it's super scary, especially at nights. There are no lights and there are no sidewalks, and people are always on the side of the street. I'm terrified I'm gonna hit someone because I'm complaining about this all the time. To our city council, to everyone, asking questions like, what can I do? What can we do to make this better? And people are losing their lives. It don't have to be like that.
Talk about a policy that you have or could work with members of the Republican Party on.
Are they going to work with me? That's the question. Because I'm willing to work with anyone, regardless of party. Once it benefits the people that we're put there to serve, and it go in line with my values as well. So I'm not going to compromise my values or the people of my district but I'm willing to work with everyone.
This is your first campaign for office ever?
Mm-hmm.
What has surprised you about
Money.
running?
How expensive it is. Like, you don't have the money, you don't, like how much money you have to raise, and yeah, that surprised me the most. I think I went into it blindly not thinking about that part, how much it costs, and how much time. It's a lot of time, like you can't work with this. What I love about it the most, I know you didn't ask me that, but the doors. I didn't think I would like the doors. I'm surprised that, you know, when you go up to the doors, people are not just like, get away from my doors. But people are really welcoming, and I get to have that one-on-one conversation. I like that.
Have you met anyone that stands out in your mind?
Yes, this one dad was really, really concerned about his child, transgender, and was living between two Trump supporters, and he was really terrified that something was going to happen, that they were going to find out about his child, and you know, it was just sad. The entire conversation was very sad, heartbreaking. Guys.
Affordable housing, such an obstacle in Nashville. What's something you support to increase the availability of affordable housing for Nashvillians?
First, we need to pay people more money so they can afford to live. Better wage, yeah, so they can afford to live. I totally understand what that feels like, raising 4 children by myself. My husband was killed in a car wreck, so I had to raise my children, and I know exactly what that feels like, having to put food on the table, having to afford the rent, but your money doesn't add up. So yeah, more money, minimum wage, raise it.
Vice President Harris has proposed a down payment assistance, giving someone, maybe a household, $25,000 to get that jump start. Good
I saw
idea?
that. Great idea, I think.
What would that have done in your house, in your home?
Big difference.
How long did you guys go before have you been able to purchase a home?
Yes, afterwards now. And it took a while the kids are older now. Yeah, them being involved and helping out financially. It took all that.
What's your feeling about using public money to pay private school tuition?
Absolutely not. You can send your children wherever you want to send them. And I've always said that, even before I was running. But we shouldn't use, I mean, there's already a school system that's set up, public school. All my children went to public school, so I know. And no, if you want to send your children somewhere else, you should pay for that. We shouldn't take any kind of resources or any kind of financial help from the public school system for private schools.
Yet we have at least partial system like that in place. Would you advocate for a cap on incomes where the most wealthy are not taking advantage of those public dollars that they can provide themselves?
Yes.
Many people thought that last session was certainly one of the most volatile, and that very little got accomplished, even in the extraordinary special session. How can we change that?
Oh gosh, I don't know. We have the supermajority. I feel we need to change that. More people need to run for office, and we definitely need to plan and strategize, I can never say that word, better how we're going to take this on, because I think, because there is a supermajority, the Republicans, I think that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. And for me, it's not about Democrat or Republican, it's about what's right and what we need to do for the people. And there's just a certain group or politicians that decides that is not going to happen.
As we said, this is your first ever campaign for something. You are not a professional politician.
Not at all. Don't want to be.
Has that been a drawback, or do you think a benefit?
I think a benefit. People want, like they say it all the time, you're so real. You know, you're such a real person. That's what we want. And I don't want to be seen as a politician. I want to be a representation of the people. I want to be seen that way, that I'm there for the people. I'm not a politician. You know, I don't want to sound like a politician, you know, well scripted. I want to have real conversations with people.
Do you think it might be intimidating being up there with people that have done this for years and decades?
No. I feel like I've been going there I have been going there for 6.5 years. So I feel like I'm a part of, you know, even though I'm not on the inside doing the work just yet. Yeah, so no, I'm not scared.